I've been always drawn to helping people. You know, when you're like part of a group, like friend group, and they're always like coming to you for advice, and they're like, you should do this, you know? I'm sorry you felt this way. This is a hard feeling to feel in the middle of a meeting, and I totally understand. That's great. And actually, one more thing I'll tell you to do is just writing them down before you actually go in a meeting.
Welcome to our special edition of the Rise Up For You podcast, the Coaching Corner. I'm your host, certified master coach and trainer, Lauren Sweeney. It's my pleasure to bring you some of our top of the top expert certified coaches and trainers to this show. Today's guest is going to give you a really interesting perspective into a coaching scenario that so many of us in leadership roles face. I also want to let you know that it's very exciting news. Our Rise Up For You soft skills certification is now ICF accredited. If you're thinking of getting your Rise Up For You soft skills certification, definitely go over to our website at riseupforyou.com and click on Get Certified Today. Well, let's jump into our episode. Have you ever felt like you're not quite doing enough? The I'm not enough mindset? Well, we're going to unpack that today. Our guest is coming to you live from Southern California, Rania Chami. Welcome to our show.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. We're excited to have you as one of our certified coaches with Rise Up For You. I know you come to us with a wealth of background from being a master life coach. You work a lot on people's mental sets, whether it's dealing with their health, dealing with their relationships. And I'd love to open, Rania, with what led you to being in the coaching field? Why are you so passionate about helping individuals?
Yes, thank you, Lauren. And I'm so excited to be here today. And thanks for the opportunity. I've been always drawn to helping people. You know, when you're like part of a group, like friend group, and they're always like coming to you for advice, and they're like, you should do this, you know? And I originally came from Lebanon as well as, you know, so I came here and I had my kids and I just wanted to be helpful. I wanted to give back to community and just be more of a help to anybody, really. So I started as my health coaching because I was suffering a little bit with my nutrition and weight and all that stuff. So I started as health coaching. I got my license. I got board certified. Then I thought, okay, there's something missing here. Let me add life coaching because there's a background of a lot of people that are stuck in their ability to move forward in life. So I was like, okay, let me do that and add it to my health coaching. So I did that. And then I found Rise Up For You. And I was like, oh my God, this will all put it together with the corporate world, you know, the women and the life. I just love coaching on all different levels. So
I love it. Well, I've seen you coach in action. I was there at your certification as well. And you have such an intuition, Rania, about what people need. And you also have so much empathy that comes through, like you're caring when you're coaching. So our audience is in for a treat, as well as, of course, any of our clients that work with you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to team up with Rise Up For You now. Can't wait to coach more with you guys.
I love it. All right. Well, should we dive into our scenario?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I am a team member that recently got promoted. And I'm feeling a little like I'm not enough. I'm worried that maybe my peers or even my supervisor is feeling that way too. And I almost feel embarrassed, Rania, to come to you, but I knew you were a safe space to come to. And I feel maybe a little like impostor syndrome even in this new role that I was so excited about getting a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So let's dive a little bit into this. Okay. Tell me a little bit about what triggered that feeling for you? Why did you feel like the imposter syndrome that you're not enough?
You know, I think it happened at the very first meeting I was supposed to be leading for my team. And I was nervous. That's probably normal. And I got a little flustered. And one of the team members questioned one of the items that was on the agenda. And just in my, momentary panic, I forgot the answer. And I think that was really the first time I went, maybe I'm not cut out for this.
Oh, I'm sorry you felt this way. This this is a hard feeling to feel in the middle of a meeting, and I totally understand where that came from. But let me just get back a little bit and separate. There's something from my life coaching background that says, like, something related to the stories that we tell ourselves, right? So what is the story you told yourself at this point? And what is the fact that, that you can kind of think about that puts you in this position? Like, if you didn't have the background that qualified you, you wouldn't be there. But what is the backstory that you're telling yourself about that situation or other situations that made you feel like you're imposter, or the imposter syndrome that you were dealing with?
That's a good question. I think what I told myself, at least in that moment, was I'm not good enough. And well, when you're asking the question, I mean, I hate to admit, it probably goes back to when I was a kid. My mom kind of telling me, you're not doing a good job, or constantly comparing me to my sister. And it was almost like a flashback, even though I'm a grown adult sitting in this meeting, just got this promotion. And I think I was remembering when I was, like 10 years old, and my mom telling me, can't you be more like your sister?
Isn't that funny? Yes. And this is where, we carry so much of our trauma from our life, from our childhood to adolescent to adult life. We just carry all these little triggers. And then all of a sudden we're sitting in a meeting, all adults and everything. And that kind of flashes back and takes us back to when we were 5, right? So what do you think will take for you to kind of get back into no, I'm an adult, I'm capable, I can do this, versus this feeling of no, I'm not good enough? What kind of little steps or little things you can do to show you that you're capable?
Hey, thanks for joining us today on the Rise Up For You podcast. Every episode is designed to give you practical tools and strategies on success, entrepreneurship, leadership, and so much more. The skills that actually help you be seen, be heard, and be relevant. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and any podcast platform, your favorite, so that you can catch weekly episodes with the leaders, entrepreneurs, and executives from around the world. We're all coming together for one reason and one reason only, and that is to help you be the best that you can be. Click the subscribe button below and share this episode. I'll see you next time.
Keep track of them, almost like a little accomplishment tracker. I know we talked about that in our other coaching session.
Right.
That might be helpful. Maybe those micro wins, because I really let this one meeting kind of drag me down that we had 2 months ago. And now it's all I can think about. Right. So perhaps keeping track of these tiny little wins, especially in this new role, and remembering, okay, I'm not that little girl. My mom is not, talking to me, comparing me to my sister now that I'm an adult. And, that they did promote me, probably not as a mistake, that they did promote me because they saw things in me. And I think as we're talking, Rania, I'm sabotaging my own self.
Exactly. And a lot of us do this. So I'm totally listening and understanding what you're saying, because we all tend to do this one way or another. As much confidence as we could have, there's always those little things, a little holes that we kind of peek into, or to our childhood, right? We're looking into us as baby us, kind of. And this is where we have to pull ourselves back from the hole and be no, we are not there. We are here. We're grown-ups. We're capable. We're enough. And we should be confident in what we're doing. And, let me ask you, do you think that you should know everything that people ask you as a leader?
Good question. My knee-jerk reaction was, well, yes, I should know everything. I'm the leader. Probably that's maybe impossible. How would I, and especially this is a newer role to myself. I'm in a new department too. So I got promoted to a new level, but also it's a brand new department. So probably impossible that I would know everything. And of course, some of my team members that have been there a long time, some of them, Rania, have been there 10 years, 15 years. Mm-hmm. So that's probably, maybe I'm just being too hard on myself, that I feel like I should know everything.
See, and that's where your whole the mind reframe comes, where, okay, I'm a leader. This is a very fast evolving world that we're in right now. And even if you know something today, tomorrow you click on something and there's a whole new level that we don't know. So I want you to take permission to tell yourself and be okay with being not fully knowledgeable of everything, and being okay with saying, you know what, good point, good question. I'll get back to you. I'm going to dig in more, do more research, and I'll get back to you. And not feeling not confident or not feeling not enough doing that, because we're all human here, right? So what do you think will help you get to that point of like, okay, I don't need to know everything, but I'm still the confident person. I am not being an imposter here. I actually deserve. See, the identity is where you put yourself in the identity of the old role sometimes, and we can't push ourselves to the new identity. That takes a little bit of time to transition. So just believing in your new identity, that I'm in this role now and I'm going to own it, and I'm going to believe in it, and I can do it. So what can you say to yourself, just as a wrap up of this coaching time, that will carry you forward and make you believe you can do that role?
It's a great question. I think as you're mentioning it, maybe I could remember the areas that I talked about in the interview to get the promotion. And it wasn't that I knew everything in the role, but they were really looking for somebody who could give direction. They were looking for somebody who was confident. They really want somebody who could critically think. And that I am confident in, even though I don't know all the nuts and bolts. So perhaps it's remembering those areas about myself, that's why they promoted me, and to bring that. And then when I'm, self-sabotaging here, I am not confident. I am not critically thinking. And so to remember kind of those superpowers within myself.
That's amazing. I think that's great. And actually, one more thing I'll tell you to do is just writing them down before you actually go in a meeting. Just write 3 words of like, I can do this, I can do that. 3 things like affirmation. And that should be good for you to like look at when you feel this way. Just a reminder. How do you feel about that?
I think that would be great. I'll do it and I'll report back on our next coaching session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rania. Well, that was great. I love the sneak preview into a little bit of the coaching that we do. And I feel like, I've had a coach, Netta, our CEO, I know has had a coach, several other team members. We believe in coaching at Rise Up For You so much that we also have coaches ourselves, and we're learning and growing. And it's like that outside perspective, Rania. I was talking with one of our clients last week. It's hard to see the label when you're in the jar, so to speak. And so I feel like when we have that outside perspective, whether you're an entrepreneur, a leader in an organization, or you're running the whole organization as an executive, having that perspective can be so helpful from a strategic standpoint.
100%. We always need, doctors need doctors. That's what I tell my clients. Doctors need doctors, therapists need therapists, coaches need coaches. And we all need each other because we can elevate each other to the next level.
100%. Well, Rania, it's been such a pleasure having you here today. I want to ask you a closing question, and that is, going through the Rise Up For You soft skills certification, what was something that you learned for yourself, either professionally or on a personal level?
Well, I love it. I love the culture of Rise Up For You. Honestly, that's what drew me to it to begin with. I'm going to keep taking the assessments. That's stuff that make me learn more about myself. And there's a lot to learn here. There's a lot to do and a lot to learn on a daily basis when you're doing something new. It's like, oh, I'm good at this. I'm not that great at this. Let me work on this. So there's a lot. And definitely me being a coach on my own, like being a solopreneur versus like being in a company, that's where I feel like, oh, I really miss being part of a team and all that. So that's really making me feel happy that I am. So,
well, Rania, it's been such a pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you for being on, and we'll see you in the field, so to speak.
For sure. Let's do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rania. Well, that was a great example of how a leader could make a shift where they were really sabotaging themselves. So I'm Lauren Sweeney. It's been such a pleasure to be your host today on our Rise Up For You podcast, special edition, the Coaching Corner. If you want to find out more about how to become a certified coach yourself, please head on over to riseupforyou.com, click on Get Certified, where your soft skills certification is now also ICF, the International Federation for Coaching, ICF accredited as well, which is very exciting. Thank you for being here today, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.